Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's program. Today's educational program is the Key for Software Supplier Capability Assessment by Jiamei Wang. This is your moderator, Shobha Mittal with ASQ Quality Management Division. Today, we have the distinct pleasure of hearing from Jiamei Wang. Please join me in welcoming her. Jiamei is the General Manager for ZNT Management Company with ASQ certifications of CMQOE, CSQP, CQA, CSQE, CSSBB, and CQE. Jiamei is also an ASQ certified trainer for CMQOE, CSQP, CSQE, and CQA. Former quality director of one of the Fortune 500 company, Jiamei was responsible for E2E quality management, covering quality management system, customer quality management, product lifecycle management, product reliability management, and organization continuous improvement, etc. Jiamei has extensive experience in E2E quality management, including R&D, manufacturing, and service for business growth. She has the expertise of leveraging both internal and external teams for quality delivery to customers and designing continuous improvement mechanisms for achieving organization mission. Jiamei is the recipient of National Quality Technology Award and National QIC Award. And so, without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you Jiamei Wang. Jiamei, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Shubha. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. The topic today is the key to software supplier capability assessment. I'm very glad to be here to share with you. Now let's begin. The main content includes, first I will talk about the importance of the software today, and then goes the software types. Following is the software development process, means that how we create the software process. And related to software quality assurance, I will introduce a few software quality assurance management system. And finally, we go to the key areas of software supplier capability assessment. First is the importance of software. That nowadays that many companies realized that a digital solution or software product is quite important for their business. They hope that they can add their software product, or they make their digital solution to add into their business scope and to increase their revenue directly. So this is investigation that it shows about 38% of the companies thinks that their software or digital solution products will contribute their revenue more than 50%. And also that more than two-thirds of the companies thinks that it is quite important that the digital solution will improve their company's effectiveness. And let's go to one industrial is automotive industrial. The investigation shows that the automotive software market will be grow at 9.4% per year from year 2019 to year 2030. With this speed, you can imagine that more and more automotive companies and also their suppliers will invest much more on software industry, and there will be more and more software suppliers there. So business software will link directly to the business growth. That is from the business point of view, and from the company efficiency point of view, the investigation shows that the CIO has anticipated that they will increasing their spending on software The main category is related to cybersecurity and also the data and the related analytics. So they will invest more on the software to improve, to hope to improve their company's working efficiency, to thus to improve their competitiveness. This so today that software will play more and more important roles. And we talk about the software, but do you know that there are many types of software there? Actually, the most common we can say is the application software. That the example I put in here, that we used our Microsoft Word and also the YouTube, many application in our computer, in our mobile, that you can find that is application software. It will finish certain function, and with certain function, they will perform a task for us. Besides this kind of software, actually there are more others that as a supplier management we may meet, that this kind of software to be developed. And one is system software, like Windows, Linux, and another is driver, that when we use printer with our PC, sometimes we need to install the printer driver, or we link to different monitor, we need to install the monitor driver. It will link the PC to our equipment to function well. Also, at the same time, there are other software as programming software that it is quite popular or familiar with us, that we may do not, many of us may do not use directly, but we know that many our applications are programmed by them. Example is here is C++, Python, and there is other software that we may do not touch directly. It is the middleware. This kind of software, it serves as the interface between distributed applications. The backend may be the database server, and the front end we may use different application. But through this middleware, they will connect the different application, will connect the same database. So this is the middleware. And also we have the embedded software. We may do not realize, but we use it a lot. Like the dishwasher, the software installed in it help us to make it function well. And also when we go to shop, we may use the card swipe machine to pay our money. So this kind of software is the embedded software. This is a kind of type clarification. There are many other types, but mainly these are these kinds of these types. Okay, these are going forward. We will have a look on the software development process. Software is unlike hardware. It is intangible. How to make it? There is a official definition to the software development process. It means that through this process, the software will be created. And the process is that it transfers the user needs into the final software product to use. In further detail, this process including that first we need to transfer user needs into the requirements, and then transforming the requirements into the design documentation, and then we implement the design into the coding, into a specific code. After we finish the code, either a unit code or domain code or module code or final release of the codes, we need to test the code, test its function as what we expected or planned for our requirements, and finally to satisfy the user needs. So this is the software development process, mainly include those items. For those items, although that it is one by one, but maybe sometime, but in general, it will be overlap. There is several examples about this software development process. We call it different models that we use this kind of a methodology to develop our products. Waterfall is the very beginning one, and the V model will be used to accelerate the development, to accelerate the speed. And nowadays, that the Agile is the most popular one. We will have a brief introduction for these three. There are more others. I just picked these three here. And this is the waterfall model. You can find that from requirements, we have the requirements and then go to the design, and then we develop, means it's coding. After coding, we have test. After test, it passed the test, we will deploy to use it. And when during our use it, that we will maintain to make it satisfy our use. And if there are more requirements, if there are bugs, we may fix the bugs to reinstall this software. So this is the waterfall. You can find that we have the requirements here in the beginning very clearly. That's from the long ago at the initial of the software development. At that time, the requirement in general is quite clear what we want to develop. And then, but this model is very hard to handle the change. Means if anything change, you need to go back to the requirement and then to step by step again. To accelerate the speed, that we get the V model. You can find that from the left side, there is also requirement and the design, and then there will be development, and there will be coding here. The difference to the waterfall model is that we initiate the related test plan at the same time when we work with our requirement design, development, and coding. So each step on the left, there is a test planning work on the right. Similarly, you can find that there is a requirement here very clearly. It means that although maybe not as very clear as the waterfall, but in general, the requirement, when we began the work, the requirement is kind of clear to go through the next steps. Then we come the Agile. Agile is quite popular methodology, or quite a popular software development models we are using today. From this chart, you can quickly find that there is no requirement in the beginning. You only find that there are plan here, and a plan here, and there is a sprint 1, 2, and 3, and continue going down. It means that nowadays we may face many change, and we cannot go step by step. So when we have the requirement, and we will investigate, and then we will plan our work to develop and to deploy. Going forward, if there are more clear requirements coming in, and they will continue to go through this process to continue to develop and deliver. So the agile, it focus on the left. It focus on the team members collaboration, and it focus on deliver the working product, the working software, and it focus on customer collaboration. It means that it is not a requirement passed from the customer and then customer disappear. In this way, that the customer or the one node customer requirement will work with the development team very closely. And very, very important is this methodology that it quite welcome to change. They will responding to change quickly. You can find that each sprint, they will have the plan in the beginning. And if there is requirement change, it will be considered and to implement it in the following development. In reality, this kind of development models require the team member has certain maturity that you need the team to collaboration quite well. Then you can work on this. And the previous introduction focus on the pure software creation process. You do not find any HR or leadership or other areas within other functions within within organization appears. So it is a software development process. But if we want have the software quality assurance, we need to consider how to assurance the software quality. Actually, similar as the hardware, there are many software quality assurance systems, and we can learn from it to know that how to assure our developed software deliverables quality. First, let's talk about what the quality means. Actually, whatever software, hardware, service, or other products or deliverables to the customer, those fitness for use and the conformance to requirements is always the same. Like the definition of software development process, it is developed for per user needs. It means that the user has the requirement, you need to conformance to the requirement, and you need to let the user can be used. So this is the basic definition for the quality, also for the software quality. And at the same time that software has a special characteristics. So when we consider about the software, we also need to consider the consideration elements. We need to include those. Maybe different types of software have different requirements to this kind of area, but we need to check whether it is suitable for your software, it is suitable for your company, and you will consider when we define your software quality. In general, there are 8 areas that function. First is the function. For software, you must have certain function, otherwise it's no value to the user. And also the performance and the compatibility. For example, whether it can be whether other version, different version, that the later version can also maintain the functions of previous version has provided. And also the usability. The usability, although maybe not listed obviously, but is quite important for software. If your software is quite complicated and people cannot figure out how to use it, even the functionality is quite well, it's extremely good that no one would like to use it. So there are many areas included in this usability, and also there is reliability. Some software needs reliability consideration for especially for the safety related, and there is also security, maintainability, and portability. So you need to consider these areas when you define your software quality. Then let's have a look how expensive software bugs will be. This is an investigation for the cost of fixing bugs in software, and the horizontal line stands for the different phases that during the software development, from requirement, design, coding, testing, maintenance. And the vertical line means the cost per bug, means if there is a bug detected in requirement, it will cost only about 139. But if this bug was detected in maintenance, that is quite huge to bug fix. So the later the defects detected, the more expensive will be spent to fix this bug. You can find almost 100 times in maintenance versus in requirement. So the earlier that you can catch the defects, the more money you will save. This is the software quality assurance standards that I listed here. 4 standards. There are many others, but you can check what is suitable for your organization, and to manage your supplier, to use it to manage your supplier. They are only tools for you to use, and they are not the requirements that you must satisfy or your supplier must satisfy. It's the tool for you to manage your supplier to produce the better quality software product. For ISO 9001 is originally for hardware manufacturing, then adding more and more scope into it. It's a quality management system help organization continue improvement with existing all the management system in place. It is suitable for all the industrial, for all the products, especially for software. There is a standards here to guide. If you want to use ISO 9001, you can use this guideline to help you to deploy in software work. The format like this. This part is the item from ISO 9001, and in the below they will list for this item in software company what work they need to complete to get the better quality output. So you can learn it. And this is another one for CMMI. Is originally it's developed for the software organization to make sure if they can compliance to this criteria requirement, that their organization will have different maturity. Nowadays, CMMI becomes more and more suitable for other. They include more contents into it. then it is not only used for software, it is also used for other industry. But the main framework is like this, that they have different process areas, and in each process area, they have the different best practice to listed for the company. They can choose to follow, and in different follow those, they can reach different level of the organization maturity. So there are 6 levels you can find, and the 0 level we will not talk about it. For level 1, it means they do not have and they have an unpredictable work, and their product cannot be assured. So if you want to improve this, at least there is managed level 2. Level 2 means that you have control on project level. You have project level controls that you can assure the project the controlled project have controlled deliverables. And then go to organization level is the level 3. For 4 and 5 is kind of self-continuous improvement level. For level 5, that are all the practice area you need to satisfy. It can be a reference for you if you want to appraisal your software supplier, or you want your software supplier to continue improvement from very beginning to the later. And similar to CMMI, this automotive SPICE is previously designed for software. And then now with the latest version, you can find that there are also hardware included in it. Those A-SPICE is especially for automotive industry, that they have the development. You can find the system engineering process is the development of the software, and they have the supporting group. And from organization level, they have the project management, risk management, and this different color means different process area. Similarly, they have different level that similar to the CMMI, they have different level. It means that those practice area, you can choose what level you want to meet. And these quality management standards are quite helpful for you to choose or to learn from it to deploy in your software supplier management. Okay, there's a whole picture of the quality assurance if you want to cultivate your software supplier from very beginning to a very high level. And for us, if we want to have a check on the software supplier, and there is many items we need to check, but especially for software developer, we have focused area. Here I listed these 6. It means from project management and requirement management, design and development, system testing, technical support, and human resource management. Again, this is not the only areas we need to check on a software supplier, but this is only part of it. You need to, based on your organization's needs and your software product category, and your supplier's capability to define how much work you need to put on your software supplier. For those areas, is at least for each software supplier, you need to check very carefully. Okay. First is the project management. They can in both CMMI and A-Spice, you can find that at the project level, management is quite a basic one if you want to have a quality deliverable on software products. So product management, the software product development management, the project management of your software development is the first you need to check. And first you need to check whether there is the project planning process there. And you need to check very carefully that what kind of activities what kind of a process they have in their project planning to make sure their objectives can be met, and how they come out their schedule, and what is the related process along with the project planning. When we check the project planning, it's quite important that we have the estimation process in detail to have a check, because that many software issues in the later phase, you will find that it is the mistake in the estimation phase. Either the resource cannot be put enough, or they have a wrong estimation on their technology, on their function, on their what they need to finish the work. So this is the project planning. And after the project planning, you need to check how they track your projects to make sure that all the issues, whether all the defined objectives and the schedules can be met. And if there is issue that the project team cannot solve, there is escalation channel that to involve management to support to solve the problem. This is the project tracking, and most important that it should be regularly to have this tracking. And whether you need your regular update from your supplier is also depends on your requirements. So first is the project planning and tracking. Along the project management, there is a very critical area is the risk management. That during the project management, nowadays that many changes will occur. So risk management is quite important. You need to check their risk management process, that what is the planned activities for the team to identify the risk and to manage the risk or to mitigate the risk, to avoid the risk have the negative impact to your project. And the risk, when the team consider the risk, at least they need to include the resource, technical, schedule, or outside dependencies, etc. So especially that is something quite important for your product and for your organization. So this is what you need to check on the project management. Then we go to the requirement management. Why it is quite important, you can find that this is the PMI's investigation report shows that 47 of unsuccessful projects that fail to meet goals due to poor requirements management. So almost half of project failures goes to poor requirement management. So this phase, you need to check the supplier's process, whether their process is quite good to assure your product development. And first, you need to check how they develop their requirement documents and how they baseline these documents, whether there is enough stakeholders or related teams to give the contribute, whether they have considered all the elements they need to consider, and when they baseline the requirements, whether they have enough review, and there is a review. If there is a review, whether there is a review comments and how they track the comments. It means if there is comments for this requirement documents, the comments whether has been recorded, has been tracked, and has been reviewed and handled it. Either we cannot see that all the review comments should be accepted. Some can be rejected, but at least there is someone have reviewed all the review comments and make it close. And when they baseline this documentation, all the review comments has been raised to closure. So this is quite important. Then goes to requirement completeness. We have already listed that there are many areas in the related to the software quality other than hardware quality. So when we check their requirement management process, we need to check how they assure the requirement completeness has been assured. This is listed, but not all of them. You need to consider your organization's requirement, your industrial, your product, software product. For listed here, that I separate into 4 categories. One is legal, safety, regulatory, international, and industrial requirements. Those that may customer may do not have clear requirements, but the supplier should consider it very carefully. And then is the functional. Also very important that there are non-functional requirements like compatibility, usability, reliability, security, etc. And also there is major other concerns, means that there are unclear points during your setup, your requirement. Maybe later the requirements will be changed or either deleted or updated or added. So those also need to consider. And another point is quite important is how they review how they handle their requirement change, and who is the one to review and approve this requirement change is quite important. Then we go to the design and development. When you check their design and development process, it's important to look at these 3 areas. One is tools, that what tool they use to support their design and development activities. Another is for the design documentation. Similarly, that like the requirement documentation, how this design documentation has been initiated, has been reviewed and baseline, and who should contribute it, and who should final baseline this documentation is quite important. Then we go to the software coding, and it's important for the coding that we will check that how the code created and how the code reviewed and then tested before the release to the system test. And when we have detected a code defect, how the supplier manage this defect, whether they have a system to record this defect, and when the defects discovered, and how to be recorded, and who has been reviewed, and who will correct it, and how the corrected result will be retested before to release to the next step. So this is quite important. And at the same time, that because nowadays there are many code code generating ways. There are legacy code, there are auto-generated code, there are open source, just use the organization just use it, etc. And for all the codes that they need to have in effective management and to test to finalize that it is suitable for this product and it passed all the tests needed to deliver to the next step. So this is the design and development. Then we go to the system testing, and this is a guard to assure that the developed products has the targeted functions and the targeted qualities to release to the customer. And the first thing you need to know the resource and tools how they plan that, and then you should have the test strategy. It means that how they cover all the types of testing and how they assure that their coverage is enough to assure this product quality. And for detected defects, similar to the coding phase, that they have the tracking, they have the correct, they have the retesting, and they have close it. And there is a defect matrix. It means that this is a quite important matrix they need to consider into their final release criteria. And whether it is suitable, it is okay for your company. Then there is assurance of meeting release criteria. It means that they will, before they release to your company, to your organization, the supplier, they need to have a very formal review meeting that all the issues, all the critical issues has been corrected, and the final quality meets that criteria and suitable and is okay to release. Then is the technical support. It is not included in the software development process, but for an organization, it's quite important to point to the software supplier that they need to seriously consider this effort. You need to check how they plan their resource for the later technical support. Unless you just have a software used for once and then throw it away. Otherwise, if it is it will maintain for a certain time, you need to consider this. You need to ask your supplier to include the maintenance and the support into your project planning, especially into your resource estimation. And also you need to have the support process to check with the supplier whether when you have the issues and how to get how to follow their support process to get their support on time, and if urgent issue, how to go through the urgent support process to get immediate technical support. Then it's the human resource management. It's because the people is almost the most important factors in the software development process. If your product will last for a long time, you need to consider how the supplier to manage their human resource, and whether they have the process to assure their company to acquire the needed skills, the needed resources, because the turn rate is quite high in software industry. So you need to consider your supplier have the enough process in place to assure their resource and their abilities to get the to retain this resource needed. And for the project team working on your product, the supplier has the process in place to make sure they can get the technology, the tools, the skills, that needed to for your product quality assurance. So human resource management is also a very critical element. And also there are other areas. For example, there are more and more requirements on security, information security management nowadays. And also you need to check how they change the requirement, the code, how they manage their change. And if there are suppliers within your supplier, you need to check their supplier management. And if your supplier is a mission critical supplier, you need to consider whether there is business continuity planning work in your supplier, and assure that whether they have for the continuous improvement, they have built up their such a mechanism to assure their your supplier can continue to improve and can continue to provide higher and higher quality software product to you. Okay, that's all. And here is my contact information. If there are more questions, you can contact me through this. And if you want this package, I can provide a PDF file through email. You can send me email to ask for it, and I will send it back. Okay? 是吧? Is there any questions?
Thank you, Janice. It was a wonderful presentation. I'll stop recording and then I'll get into the questions and answers.
Okay.